coolant exhaust is slightly warmer than the coolant intake, so I'm gonna make sure that I'm not hydrolocked or airlocked in that tube. I need to figure out something with this coolant system. Before, when I ran the truck, I was having issues figuring out if there was actually coolant coming into the system, because this side, which is the exhaust, was cooler than this side, which was the intake. And then I decided that the thermostat hadn't opened yet, so I ran it for a little bit longer. And then the alternator stopped charging for whatever reason. Maybe it's this plug. And so I just kind of quit for the day, and I haven't revisited it since then. So today I've come up with a solution to figure out if coolant is getting circulated through the engine. In this box that's got fragile tape all over it is a product that I have been watching since I was probably 15 years old and drove a Honda Civic. This company called Killer Glass makes a glass radiator hose, and they give you a couple of shrink wrap adapters so that you can put a piece of glass radiator hose. It says fragile on the box, but they've got old school videos where they drive over this with a car and they use it as a hammer. So it's pretty durable, so it should stand the test of time underneath the hood of this truck as I drive it 15 miles an hour through the desert. I'm thinking that I can somehow get this tube to line up with that one, kind of like that, because this side is the intake of the coolant. I'll be able to see directly whether coolant is getting into the engine, in theory. So I guess the next step in this process is to remove this copper tube and these two pieces and see exactly how I can get this all to fit up. I also picked up a couple extra silicone boots just in case. And then here's the shrink wrap that comes with the tube, and it comes with some cool LEDs in case you want to do like some show car stuff. Also, this company's been around for over 20 years. I know that because I found them 20 years ago and could never afford to buy anything from them. This was around $200. I can say that because I'm not affiliated. But somebody drew me a little picture of a smiling stick figure lady that says thank you on the invoice. So, you know, little stuff like that shows me that you care, and I love it. And thanks for supporting by working with me to get this to me fast. All right, put this on there, and this right there. Let me do a straight piece from there to there. That might do the trick right there. I actually kind of like that a lot. So let's take this and we'll do those fitting on this side first. Oh, that looks cool. That looks really neat. Alright, so, of course that's going to be sitting up there like that. So that's fine. Let me get some clamps on here. That's how that's supposed to be. Just like that. This needs to be the highest spot. Level is good enough. There could be a little bit of air bubbles, but not too much. Now, just for experiment's sake, I'm going to fill this up from the radiator, and I'll show you what happens exactly up front. as you can see, nothing is happening, and that's because these two tubes right here are higher than the tubes down there. You've got to let the air out of the system. Now that we're letting some air out, and some water too apparently, the engine side is filling up with water slowly, but there's still a big air bubble. We lift this up to where it's supposed to be. We can let all the air out. Now this tube here should be primed just kind of like a pull pump is, and it should continuously self-prime itself. The air bubbles that work its way into the engine will come out of the vent tubes and back into the exhaust part and head back up to the radiator in the back. Let me see if I can get this thing started and watch the water, not the coolant, the water, travel through the system. Okay, all we need to do now is wait for the engine to heat up and open the thermostat, cycle that water. Well, she's running, and it turns out all I had to do was burp the system. What I need to do is make an air vent on both inlet and outlet hoses. That way no trapped air goes in when I'm burping it, and the air can come out of the engine. And once all that air is out, I can fill this thing up anywhere, and it'll cycle the coolant. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video and the killer glass see-through radiator hose deal. I'll see you next week, and have a good weekend. It's 100% not perfect.